Every single day, thousands of planes are crisscrossing the sky, carrying millions of us to our destinations. But behind every single one of those safe takeoffs and landings, there's an unseen guardian, a calm voice in what is an incredibly high-pressure world. So today, we're going to pull back the curtain on one of the most demanding and frankly fascinating jobs in aviation, the air traffic controller. We're diving into this world through the lens of Rob Kennedy's amazing AvGeek in Residence series, which really shines a light on these vital jobs that keep us all safe in the air. Okay, just picture this for a second. A Southwest 737 is on its final approach, literally seconds from touching down. Then, out of nowhere, the pilot spots another jet crossing its runway. A collision looks almost certain, but then a voice cuts right through the chaos. It's calm, it's clear, and it's totally in command, and it gives the exact instruction needed to avoid a catastrophe. That is the entire world of air traffic control in one single heart-stopping moment. And that's a serious question, because this is not just a job, it's a massive responsibility. So as we go through this, just keep that in the back of your mind. Do you have what it takes to be that voice? All right, so let's start with the absolute basics. Before you can even think about the training, the salary, any of that, you have to have the right raw materials. Think of this as the very first filter. And listen, these are not skills you just pick up from a textbook. We're talking about something almost innate. You need absolutely exceptional spatial awareness, the ability to juggle, in your mind, dozens of planes in 3D space. Your communication has to be perfect, crystal clear. And when things go wrong, and believe me, they will, you have to be the calmest person in the room, making life or death decisions in a fraction of a second. Oh, and teamwork? That's not some corporate buzzword here. It's literally a survival mechanism. So who in their right mind actually seeks out this level of intensity? Well, you've got a few key groups. You have people who are just wired differently. They actually thrive on pressure. Military vets are a natural fit, since their training often translates perfectly. Then you've got those who are driven by a real sense of purpose, the prestige of knowing you were personally responsible for keeping thousands of people safe every single day. And, let's be honest, the incredible financial rewards and rock-solid job security are a pretty powerful motivator too. So you think you have the right stuff? Well, get ready for your next challenge, the gauntlet. That's what we're calling the notoriously difficult training process. It is literally designed to weed out anyone who isn't 100% ready for the job's immense pressure. And it doesn't matter where you are in the world, becoming a fully certified controller is a serious multi-year commitment. We're talking anywhere from 2 to 5 years of intense training in the classroom, in simulators, and on the job. But the most staggering number here, the one that really tells the story, is the washout rate. And that washout rate is just brutal. Look at this. In Europe, up to half of all candidates don't make it through. Even in the US and Canada, you're looking at a third or more of trainees who just don't certify. These aren't small numbers. This is a system that is literally designed for a high rate of failure. So why? Why is it so incredibly tough? Well, here's the bottom line. Aptitude tests and how you perform in a classroom, they can't fully predict how someone is going to react when they are handling actual airplanes with real people on board. Some candidates, who are brilliant on paper, just freeze under that real-world stress. The system has to be this unforgiving, because in aviation there is zero, and I mean zero, room for error. But for those who do manage to survive the gauntlet, that's when they get to enter the arena, the day-to-day reality of life on the scope. And it's an incredibly structured world. A single flight gets handed off in this seamless ballet. You've got ground control guiding it on the taxiways, then tower control clears it for takeoff. Next, track-on, that's terminal radar approach control, sequences it into the flow of departing planes. And finally, the en route center watches it cruise at 35,000 feet. Every role is different, but they all depend on each other completely. And this arena? It never closes. The sky is always open, which means controllers work around the clock 365 days a year. So forget your standard 9 to 5. We are talking early mornings, overnights, weekends, holidays, you name it. Fatigue is a constant battle. And that stress, it's not some abstract concept. It's deeply human. This comes from Rob Kennedy's AvGeek in Residence series I mentioned. He tells this story about one of his university students who was also an air traffic controller. He described the man as a nervous wreck, always jittery, totally worn down, a chain smoker. It's just a raw, first-hand look at the incredible toll this job can take on a person. So this brings us to the core tension of this entire career, right? the incredible prize versus the immense personal cost. Let's start with the prize. In the US, the median salary for a controller is $130,000 a year. And get this, that number is before mandatory overtime. When you consider that this is a career that doesn't always require a 4-year degree, that is a life-changing amount of money. But, and this is a huge but, here's the other side of that coin. In the US, controllers have a mandatory retirement age of 56. Just think about that for a second. The job is considered so mentally taxing, so cognitively demanding, that the system is literally designed to get you out early. It really speaks volumes about the concerns over long-term burnout. So here it is, the trade-off, laid out plain as day. On one side, you've got amazing pay, incredible job security, and a deep sense of purpose. But on the other, you've got punishing hours, constant high-stakes stress, and a very, very real risk of burnout. It is the definition of a high-risk, high-reward profession. So, what does the future actually hold for this critical field? Let's take a look at the challenges and the big innovations that are coming down the pike. Well, right now there's a worldwide shortage of controllers. It's basically a perfect storm. You've got tons of experienced controllers hitting that mandatory retirement age. The training pipeline, as we saw, washes out a huge number of candidates. And all the while, air traffic just keeps growing. Now, this is a massive challenge for the industry, but it also means there are some incredible opportunities for new recruits who can actually make the cut. This all brings up a really key debate in the industry. What's the best way to manage air traffic control? In the US, it's run by the government, the FAA. This ensures direct safety oversight, but it can get bogged down in political funding fights. Compare that to Canada, which privatized its system into a nonprofit called NavCanada, and it's widely praised for being super efficient and able to modernize without all that political gridlock. It's a fascinating contrast. And what about tech? Are robots going to take over? Well, the consensus is a pretty clear no. The future is AI-assisted, not AI-replaced. Automation, new digital tools, they're all going to help reduce the workload and prevent burnout. But when an emergency hits, that calm, authoritative human voice, that human judgment, is and will remain absolutely irreplaceable. So, here we are. Full circle. We've seen the skills it demands, the gauntlet of training you have to survive, the daily pressure, and of course, the incredible rewards. The stakes couldn't be higher. They're human lives. The stress is off the charts. But for the right person, this is one of the most vital and respected jobs on the planet. Which leaves us with the only question that really matters, the one we started with. Is that person you?